believe it or not, there is exactly one thing that is holding you back as a leader. I know, especially for new leaders, it can feel really overwhelming that there's dozens, hundreds of skills that you have to improve. But if you really boil it down and think about it for a minute, you will see that there is exactly one thing that if you get better at it, you will instantly become a better leader. So in today's video, what I want to do is I'm going to talk you through a well-known manufacturing philosophy called the theory of constraints. We're going to apply that to leadership so that you can start becoming a better leader right now. But before we dive into that, I do want to say that if you are a regular to this channel, welcome back. I'm so excited to see you. If you are new, my name is Matt Gjertsen. I'm a former Air Force instructor pilot, former head of training and development at SpaceX. And if you are looking for actionable advice on how you can become a better leader and start achieving more with your teams, then this is the channel for you. So make sure you subscribe. When I first started at SpaceX, I knew a lot about space, but I didn't know very much about manufacturing. I had never been in a manufacturing environment before, and SpaceX is all about manufacturing. So since these were the people I was going to be serving, I wanted to learn more about that world. And for me, that means I started reading books. And one of the books I read is this book called The Goal. And if you aren't in manufacturing, then you probably have not read this, but I would highly recommend it because it's applicable to all kinds of things. And what this book lays out is something called the theory of constraints. So I want to start by describing what the theory of constraint is. We're going to apply it to leadership, and then we're going to help you figure out how you can use that to become a better leader. So what is the theory of constraint? If you think about any manufacturing process, right, it results in a product that's coming off the line. And then there's a series of steps that are happening behind it. And so if you think of, end product -1, it was maybe 5 or 10 pieces. And then -2, each of those pieces was several pieces. And then -3 steps, each of those pieces was, transformed in some way, right? So any manufacturing process is this broad web of things that are coming together. So there might be hundreds, thousands of things that are happening. And this is the manufacturing process. This is the supply chain, everything. If you're a manufacturing leader, you're trying to figure out, how can I get more product to come off the end of that line? And though there are hundreds of things, thousands of things in this giant web, what the theory of constraint says is that all of that entire manufacturing process is always going to be constrained by exactly one step or process, right? There's one place that is going the slowest of everything else. And this whole massive chain is all being held back by that one point. And so as a manufacturing leader, really what your job is, rather than looking at this entire web and trying to improve everything, your job is to find that constraint and improve it. Because as soon as you improve it, the production rate of the entire system will improve. Now, of course, once you fix that constraint, another constraint pops up. And then another constraint pops up, and that's just what you're doing as a manufacturing leader. You're constantly identifying where the constraint is, improving it, and then going on to the next one, and then going on to the next one. So that's what the theory of constraints is in a manufacturing context. How do we apply this to leadership? Well, like I said before, leading people may involve dozens or hundreds of skills. But rather than trying to improve all of them, which you will never be able to do, you'll just be spreading yourself too thin or you'll get overwhelmed. What you need to be doing is thinking about, for you as a leader and for the situation that you are in, what is the one thing that is holding us back the most? What is the one thing that if I improve it, I kind of lift the whole ship, right? By improving that thing. That allows you to really focus your efforts on that one thing. It allows you to improve a lot faster, and it ensures that you're going to kind of get the most bang for your buck. And so how do you identify that constraint? Well, to me, it's all about, where do you see yourself spending all of your time? What kinds of problems are you fighting the most from a management perspective on your team? So at Better Everyday Studios, we use a framework called First Principles Leadership, which says that as a leader, there are exactly 3 things that you need to be doing, right? You need to get people to work together, you need to get them working on the right things, and you need to improve their work over time. And so in order to identify where your constraint is, you need to ask yourself questions of, which of those buckets am I spending all my time on? So are you spending all of your time on interpersonal problems, employee relations problems, people coming to you and complaining about somebody else on the team. I can't work together. Or you're putting out, you're trying to stop fights. If you're spending all of your time there, then that's your constraint. The fact that people don't really know, aren't getting along well, and that signals your ability as a leader. You need to have more ability as a leader in building trust and building connection. And so that's what you focus on. Problem number two, is it that you're spending all of your time making all the decisions for the team? You're empowering them, you want them to do things, but you just find that all decisions come through you. And so you are becoming the constraint. Well, then making it clear how to make decisions, giving context about the situation that you're in and applying that to making those decisions, that's probably the constraint for you. And you need to figure out the skills associated with that. Or is it that the work quality just isn't good enough? People are always making mistakes. There's all these quality defects. People aren't following directions correctly. Then you probably need to work on your ability to give feedback, to coach people, right? But if you start with that basic question of where am I spending the most time? Is it solving interpersonal problems? Is it making all the decisions that I shouldn't be making? Or is it constantly going after mistakes that are happening out in the work? Ask yourself, which one of those buckets are you spending the most time? That's your constraint, and that is where you need to focus. The fastest way to really see a result, to raise the level, not only your level as a leader, but the full productivity of your team, is going to be finding and fixing that constraint. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to watch another one or subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time.